Welcome to today's video on the BizClime channel, the road to business success. In today's video, we'll be breaking down NFT for the understanding of an absolute beginner. By the end of the video, you would understand how to create your own NFT arts as well as opportunities that exist with other forms of NFTs. You don't want to miss my recommendations at the end of the video on what kind of NFTs you should be stocking to make a kill in the near future. Also, if you are a game addict and you don't make money with it, that will change after this video. Or if the idea of making money from owning virtual lands and properties, then watch till the end as I bring in Cryptostache to break it down. If you haven't, please click subscribe, then hit the bell button to turn on notifications so you get alerted when I upload new videos to the channel. NFT stands for non-fungible tokens. And we do know that tokens are the younger ones of crypto coins, if we may put it that way to get it explained better. So it means NFT or non-fungible tokens are products of or exist on the blockchain register. So why is it non-fungible? Now, NFT is used to certify authenticity and ownership of a specific digital asset via a unique digital identifier that cannot be copied, substituted, or subdivided and distributed on the blockchain as a public ledger. So, the inability to copy, substitute, or subdivide it is what makes it non-fungible. Most common ledgers for NFTs are the Ethereum, Wax, and now the Solana, and other emerging ledgers. Here's a link to Cryptocurrency Investment Handbook, a book I published 4 years ago to help you understand cryptocurrency terms and more about the blockchain. Ideally, I refer to NFT as a decentralized trademarking and copywriting service. So basically, any digital asset such as a photo collage, logo, a tweet, or even a video, when registered on the blockchain, becomes a non-fungible token or NFT. And this leads us to the next question. How do you register a digital asset or create one? This is what nerds call the making or minting of NFTs. Step 1. Create or select a digital asset you own. You need to have the artwork, image, or any other asset prepared via scanning, camera, photography, or other digitizing methods. Step 2. Gas fee. Create and fund a wallet. This wallet can hold your NFTs, and you will also need to use it to pay blockchain gas fees later on. Make your way over to phantom.app or metamask.io, where you can download the app or add the Chrome extension. Creating a Phantom or MetaMask wallet is simple and free. But if you have a problem keeping track of your seed phrase for recovering the wallet, you might prefer to sign up the Wax wallet. Remember that wallets don't hold cryptocurrency or NFTs. They store your private key, which is needed to authorize transactions. All cryptocurrencies and NFTs are actually kept on the blockchain with the wallet ID designating ownership. Step 3. Tokenize your digital assets. Once you have a wallet created or you already had one, you will be able to create your own NFTs. Navigate to a marketplace such as SoulSea, Atomic Hub, Rarible, OpenSea, or Mintable, and click the Create button in the menu bar. Connect your wallet with your preferred marketplace and get to work. To help you choose the blockchain and the marketplace that suits your needs and pockets, know that the average price of minting an NFT on Solana is just 0.00001 SOL or 0.015. That's 15 cents as of October 2021. Whereas on the Ethereum blockchain, you pay as much as $1.50 per NFT created, which is 100,000 times more expensive. And so C is to Solana what OpenSea is to Ethereum. Create a name for your NFT collection, then click the Add New Item button. You are now ready to upload the file you want to tokenize and give it certain properties and stats to distinguish it from the rest of your collection. Determine how many copies you want of each item, then set a retail price, as well as a royalty percentage for secondary market transactions or resale market. The fewer or higher the rarity, the more expensive your NFTs will go for. You are all set to click the Create button to mint your NFT. Step 4, monetization. Now that you own an NFT by creating or minting one, the next thing you want to do is either use it for your brand or sell it for profit. If you plan on having a collection of NFT arts to sell, besides listing them on the third-party marketplaces I had earlier mentioned, it is highly recommended that you start your own NFT blog to promote your collection. As such, it is also important that you acquire a memorable domain name like nftnitty.com even before you make a spend on minting or buying your first NFT art. Fantastic, right? So what's the buzz about NFTs? Some NFT art has sold for millions of dollars. Most famously, Beeple's Everyday's The First 5,000 Days, which sold for $69 million. Yeah, you heard me right, $69 million. True Christie's in March 2021. More than a dozen NFTs have sold for over $1 million, and several dozen more, including The Everlasting Beautiful by Theosius, have fetched prices in the hundreds of thousands. But please beware that these sales are rare exceptions, as some are suspected to be vehicle for laundering cash. And even if you do replicate their success, you are likely to find that most of the money would come to you. The companies that enable the transactions and the platforms that generate and maintain NFTs charge a range of fees to NFT artists, both upfront and after any sale, and they might even leave you in deficits depending on the price your work fetches. To wrap up this video, let's look at the future of NFT and what business opportunities we should be getting in on before others dominate it. While the current buzz on NFT as of 2021 is just around its use in the creation and sale of artworks, it should be noted that such humongous sale prices will soon be extinct, but NFTs will continue to rise in popularity into the distant future, as we see its dominance in games, crypto, and more importantly the metaverse for ownership of emojis, skins, and land. Let Cryptostache talk to us about creating NFTs as well as amazing business opportunities available on some gaming metaverses.
NFTs on Solana have been on fire recently. It is definitely one of the biggest up-and-coming NFT chains out there. And today we're going to show you in a step-by-step tutorial on how to get started creating NFTs on the Solana network. All right, so when it comes to Solana and creating NFTs, there's a couple steps you got to go through, right? And the first step we're going to show you here is how you actually get started on the Solana blockchain, period, because this is the first step. You need to be able to have a wallet that has some soul in it so you can get started creating those and minting those NFTs. So the wallet that I suggest is the Phantom wallet. There's a couple of other wallets out there, so like Solette and a couple other ones that work well, but Phantom wallet is the one that I suggest because it is the easiest to use. It works a lot like MetaMask, so if you're already familiar with MetaMask, then this should be an easy transition. It is a Chrome extension, just like MetaMask, and you can come here to the Phantom website and add it. So once you have it added to your Chrome, which is easy to do as an extension, you'll see it looks pretty much like this. You know, like I said, very familiar looking, and you can send and receive. You can actually even see your NFTs in this wallet too, which is actually really nice. They've done a good job when you talk about improvements that MetaMask could really make. You know, being able to see your NFTs like this in collectibles, I think makes a lot of sense. Obviously, you can also do swaps here too, which is kind of nice. So first thing is getting Phantom installed. Next thing is getting some Solana, right? So you need some Sol. You need a little bit of Sol to be able to mint. It's not a lot. It's you know, very insignificant amount in comparison to Ethereum. You're basically looking at 0.01 for a transaction like that on Solana. So it is very insignificant at this point. And so, but you do need to have some Sol to be able to mint. The minting is not free. So some of the best places to go get Solana are on Binance or on Coinbase. But they're on most. But what I do recommend is I recommend using SolSea. SolSea is I would say the #1 marketplace on Solana. It is very new. You know, I think SolSea is definitely the leader when it comes to NFT marketplaces and places to be able to create your NFTs as well. So go ahead and head over to SolSea, and you can go ahead and sign up for a free account there. You connect your Phantom wallet, and then you can go and get started on creating. Now, we're going to go over the creator here real quick too. But the first thing I want to show you is actually the collection creator. So depending on how you're going to create your NFTs, you might actually want to think about creating a collection first, having your own collection on the platform. And it's a little bit different than just creating an NFT that goes into a generic collection, right? And this is what you see similar to OpenSea, where they create their own collection. The collection can get verified, you know what I'm saying? And you have that nice blue check mark. SolSea works in a very somewhat similar way to OpenSea, obviously trying to, you know, capitalize a little bit there, right? SolSea, OpenSea. It makes a little bit sense. And so creating a collection is pretty straightforward. You need to have a header image. You have your icon image that represents your collection, a title, a short description. You can put in your socials, which is nice, right? And then you can pick your collection symbol, which is just a little notifier, a little, you know, a little like short word thing, you know, characters that represent that actual collection. Throw in some tags. Pretty easy, right? You want to make sure you put some good tags in there, because you got to think about what are people searching for when they're searching for my NFTs. Tags are important. And then you can do collection traits. If you're going to be doing just single NFTs, or once you're done with your collection and you want to start uploading your NFTs, this is the interface. It is actually really easy to use, and I love that they give you a little preview too. So as you're uploading your image and you're putting your titles and things in, you get to see this here preview, and it gives you a really good idea of exactly what it's going to look like on the platform, and I love that. So obviously you got to have your graphic or your GIF, right? It's not a GIF. It's a GIF. Now that does kind of suck for some of these bigger projects. You have to kind of work within that limit of 10 megabytes, right? So you would upload that here, and I would love to be able to see something like an IPFS where you could use that kind of like a hash instead of being able to be limited by just 10 megabytes. Title, description, then the fee, right? What kind of, this is a big one too. So what kind of royalty are you going to be getting on your secondary market? This is something you have to think about, because if you put it too high, people may be prohibited to want to resell your stuff, right? So I would suggest somewhere between around 5%, maybe 10% at the max. If you go above that, you're really just gouging people. So I think I'd be careful of that. External URLs and like your website. If you don't have a website for your NFTs, I highly recommend it, especially if you're doing your own collection, like a you know, collection of NFTs. I think it's incredibly important to have a really good working website. It's your home base. It's where you get to control all the aspects. Definitely look into doing that. Once again, tags, very important. That's how people are finding if they're searching here, or if they're looking for things, exploring them on the platform. But one of the biggest things and the cooler things that they have here on Solana is the different licenses. So these licenses are copyright licenses that kind of say how this NFT is going to be handled, right? And so you can see that you can pick through a couple of different licenses here. There's 4 different ones, right? So there's different licensing here, and I love that they have this built in. It is a really great feature of SolSea. And then you would select your collection. So you can see right now there's no collection. You want to be able to create that as we went over in the first step. So you have your collection set. It has all the information there. And then you can give these NFTs their individual traits too. And the same thing works here, is that you can, you know, once you put in the trait, it gives you another one, and you can put as many as you want in there, right? So SolSea, like I said, so that's all you really have to do. You've created your collection now. You've created your NFTs. and you can now, you know, once they're created, you can go start listing them on the marketplace, and you can see that there's already a ton of collections that have already been listed here. If we go to the Explore tab, you can see a ton of things, single collections, you know, in a collection, single pieces. You know, like I said, you don't have to mint them in a collection. You can just do single pieces as well. If we just look at some of the single pieces of art, there's people who are doing just basic artworks, and there's people that are doing collections. So you can see that, oh yeah, we had just the verified on, so we could turn on off verified. I think we'll see some single pieces here. Yeah. So, you know, you can see some of these single pieces that people have done. Soul Ape 1510, like it's just, you know, so there's a lot of interesting things that are going on here in Solana, but it's definitely an up and coming marketplace. Now, if you want an option here, a little bit more of a basic option, there are already quite a few crypto-based NFT metaverses out there. I'm sure you've probably heard of Decentraland, maybe you've heard of the Uplift, which is on Wax. And there are quite a few other ones out there that are clamoring to get out there and actually be used, like the Sandbox. It's one of the big anticipated ones I talk about all the time on my channel. Okay, so let's jump into all of these metaverses. These are my top 3 upcoming or brand new metaverses that are emerging, and they all have they're very different. All of them are very different. The first one we're going to talk about is called Treeverse. Treeverse. This is a pretty interesting one. It has a very RuneScape style, almost Ultima Online style look to it, and has some pretty unique aspects. All right, so here we are over at the Treeverse website, and there's a lot of interest in things like this because of the gameplay and the investment opportunity you can have. Now, their original founders land sale has actually sold out, because you can actually have land in the Treeverse. That's one of the key, you know, components to a lot of these metaverse, you know, NFT lands, or is it, you know, they have them there. You can buy them, you can sell them, you can hold them for long-term value, or do something with them inside the game. And so Treeverse has that, and their land sale, you know, it sold out, this founders land sale, and now the floor price for these lands is at about 1 Ethereum. So you see here, you know, the lowest one you can get here on sale for buy it now is 1.17 Ethereum for a founders plot in the Treeverse. So this game has definitely started to blow up a little bit more. Now, the second one I want to talk about here is a little bit less known and a little bit newer, we'll say, but it's called Eververse. And so Eververse is a totally completely different style than Treeverse. This is actually a 3D style game. And they actually started this with, you know, launching a 10K generative PFP style project. And you know, I feel like maybe that you know, direction didn't work out as well as they wanted to, and so they've really I think pushed launching the game to be a central focus here. So you can see that right now you can still mint some of their first collection. I think that there's only maybe like 600 something left that you can mint, but if you look over here on OpenSea, the floor price is half of what the minting cost is. So, you know, make sure you keep that in consideration. You can go and get some of these floor heroes here, these avatars, and they're cheaper than what the actual mint price is. And there's actually quite a bit that are under that mint price. So you can actually look around and see ones that you might actually, so definitely check them out. And you know, they did have a sale here recently of their turtle companions. These are like companion NFTs, and they were only 5,000 generative turtles, and they actually sold out already. So I think that the price point on these was maybe a little bit lower. It doesn't say exactly what they are here right now. The last one that I want to talk about is Tezotopia. And Tezotopia is a little bit of a different focus. It's really focused on land ownership and passive income through those lands. And that's a lot different than the other two we've talked about here already. And so how it kind of works is you have these Tezotopes, and you know, each one is very unique and has different resources on the land. And the land generates unobtainium, which is the actual in-game currency, UNO, and it just launched on the Tezos deck, so you can find UNO there. But each land generates a bunch of different resources, and it does it passively. So it just every hour, kind of similar to like how our planet works, where you're generating assets kind of passively through kind of a passive type game. But the cool fact with this is that you can actually create new plots of land using some of that UNO and some energy, which is another resource there in the game, to be able to create new Tezotopes, new lands. And then you can keep doing this over and over again, right, to create more and more passive income. Now, it's not cheap to get to that level. You do have to generate quite a bit to get there, but it is a very interesting thing. And so when we look at what is going on here, and these lands are going for big money too. So if you look at the actual in-game marketplace, right, that this is a Tezos-based project, so it is on Tezos. The other ones are Ethereum-based. But this one you can see here on their in-game marketplace. The cheapest lands you can buy here are like about $2,300, about 450 Tezos to buy some of these very basic cheap lands. So people are definitely holding on to this. They don't seem to be selling a lot of them.
If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to click the like and share button, then the subscribe button to get notified for more of my videos on making money and business success.